In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we shall continue into Joshua, class number 6. So wrapping up for chapter 2, that we talk about the condition. Okay, so as we say, please keep in mind all the promises in the Bible, they are conditional. So God made you a promise, and you will surely, definitely, 100% that you will receive it if you fulfill the condition. If you fulfill the condition. Just like in the locker, when you do the Amazon locker, that the package is inside, but you need to enter the code so that the door will open. Okay? So unless you fulfill, shall we say, the promise of God is right there, as long as you have the key to unlock the box or the locker. So what is the condition? As we said earlier, for Rahab and her family to be safe, there are 3 conditions that she must abide. And the spies made it very clear. If you do not or unable to fulfill all the promise, all the oaths that we took, all the what we swear to you will mean nothing, will be void, will be cancelled. So do remember, you and I, our salvation is also conditional. The heavenly kingdom is there, and the Lord wants you to get there, but you can only get there by fulfill the condition. So number 1, finding the right house. There were many houses in Jericho, but only one that has the scarlet cord, the red cord. You need to find the one with the symbol of red. You need to find the one that provides the hope of salvation. So number 1, you have to make sure that you find the right house, the right place. Number 2, it doesn't matter what are the reasons that you decide to walk outside of the house. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you, according to the spies, they say that if you, your family, your relative, your uncle, your father's house, it doesn't matter when they are outside on the street and die. That's on them. They say that the blood is on their head, not on our hand, not our problem. Okay? It might sound very cruel, but that's also a given reality. It doesn't matter what the reason. When you are out, then you are out. Whatever happened, you are responsible for it. Just like as we said, Noah's Ark. We talk about Noah's Ark, that they were inside of they were inside the ark way before the flood comes down. Okay? It's not that, it's cloudy. It's drizzling. Let me run for the ark. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The Bible says heaven opened like a hole, and then water pour down. It's not like, it's raining outside. No. It's like, wow, like a waterfall. Like a waterfall. The water just pour in. So, you know that, as we say, inside of the ark of Noah, it might be uncomfortable for various reasons. It's kind of dark. It's kind of smelly. The air circulation is very bad. All right, maybe it's maybe with all the animal inside, it's very crowded. What step on my toe? Elephant. Yeah, you know that. Hey, you never know. Maybe Noah is 9 feet tall. Okay, and the elephant is only just like how we pet the dog. I'm just saying, I don't know. Okay, wasn't there. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe Noah is as tall as the giraffe. Okay? We don't know. But what we know is not a comfortable environment. So if Noah, the family, the son, whoever, they say, oh, you know what? I am suffocating. Oh, did you see outside the gentle breeze, the comfortable sunshine? Let me go throw the run. Let me take a walk. So they decide to, I'm just enjoy a short walk. I will come right back. You know what? You might plan for good. I will only walk away for a short while. I will surely come back and make it before anything happens. You can plan, but the problem is you do not control. The Bible specifically say, do you know Noah never closed the door of the ark? He wasn't the one. The Bible say God shut the door. He said that God shut him inside. So it's not like, oh, it's raining, and Noah run and start pulling the rope. 1, 2, hey, son, come and help. It's not like that. Noah were inside, and the door was shut by God. God shut the door. When you don't know, that's where the problem is. You don't know when God will shut the door. So it's not like, oh, I calculated. I should be fine, not a problem. I am only just going out and explore a little bit. I will surely come back on time for dinner. Okay? So the son said to Noah, "Hey, we'll see you later. I will come back. Don't close the door on me." But the thing is, the dad was not the one that closed the door. God closed the door. So do not allow yourself to leave, because you never know when God will shut the door on you. When you say that, you know what, I'm just going to use my next 10 years, next 15 years, I will build up my financial condition. I will be financially independent. I will, utilize my time, go for the best, and after that, when I'm stable, I will come back and be fervent, be zealous, be this and be that. That might not work. Just because you plan for it doesn't mean that it will work. So like in Rahab, like in Rahab's scenario, the house is small, all right, because she was poor. She was like the bottom feeder. Yeah, as a prostitute, she was like the bottom feeder. Okay, low social status, looking down by people. So apparently, she wouldn't be financially strong. And consequentially, the house or the environment must be very limited. But now the spy said, you know what? Whoever you want to save, bring it to your house. So it will be crowded for who knows how long. The thing is, Rahab doesn't know how long would it take. She knew that God gave the city to the people of Israel, but how long, she doesn't know. So for the longest time, she need to share the bathroom with like 15, 20, 30 people. Depends on how many people she wants to be safe. They will be crowded in the room, perhaps uncomfortable and inconvenient. Okay? Inconvenient. But you stay. Even it's uncomfortable. You stay. Even it's inconvenient. Because that's how you are spared from the sword. That's how you are spared. Okay? So number 1, find the right house. Number 2, stay and do not leave. Number 3, do not change your mind. Okay? As we said, if Rahab changed her mind and she decided to cash in, if she decided to cash in for the information that she had, okay, she decided, oh, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm going to tell the king because there's a reward, and I can make a differences in my life for the reward. Right? You know what she might? She might be able to get the reward, money, wealth, and that will enable her from the bottom feeder, from like like the poor bottom feeder. Maybe she get to enjoy the lavishness of the wealthy. Now the king reward her for her information. Yeah, I got the money. And then after that, what happened? Only in a short while. Only in a short while, and then the Israelite people, they circle, one circle, two circle, three circle. When they circle, and eventually the whole world collapse, she get to enjoy her temporary wealth for a few days. Then she will be killed along with all her family, everybody. Temporary, short, a very limited time, and exchanging with eternal condemnation. Is that worth it? That's your math. You know that in our heavenly journey, we are all doing calculations. The Bible told you to do calculation. The Bible told you that you need to sit down and calculate. Sit down and calculate. We all need to sit down and calculate about our faith, our investment. Because let me tell you, your faith is the biggest investment ever in your life. Not the stock market, not ETF, not funds, not anything. Your faith is the biggest investment. Nothing compared to it. Why? What do we demand? The church or the faith demand what? It demand 1/7 of all your time. Minimum. That's a minimum demand. Sabbath belong to the Lord. So every single week, one day belong to God. That's 1/7 of your entire life. So if you live up to 70 years old, then in that 70 years, 10 years belong to God. 1/7. Yep. 1/7 belong to God. Okay, no. I got math problem. 1/7. Oh, so if you lived up to 7 years, wow, 70 years. I got math problem. Smart guy. 1/7. So every 7 years, 1 year belong to God. So if you live up to 70 years, 10 years belong to God. Is that closer? Is that more accurate? You know what? That's why I don't do math. I ask AI. Okay, that's the time. 1/7 goes to God. That's time. Money, 1/10 belong to God. That's tithe, offering. Okay. Let me tell you, in your life, nothing is bigger than that. Nothing is bigger than such an investment. And when you are doing your biggest investment, make sure that you know exactly why. What are you invest upon? Why are you invest upon it? You need to do your calculation so you know exactly what you are getting. For Rahab, she aimed her dream, her goal. She aimed for survival, her life, and her family's life in the doomsday of Jericho. Okay, that was the aim. If she changed her mind, if she decided to redo her calculation, and she said that I rather enjoy a lavish life for a few days than being spared on the doomsday. Right? If she redo her math and she said that, oh, you know what? if I die, I will die rich. Okay? If I die, I will die at least with the experience of the lavish life. Okay? Then she will change her mind. When you redo the math, you will adjust the direction of your investment. So for her, the spice made it very clear. This is a way of no return, like your faith. This is a journey of no return. Because when you change your mind, you aim for something else. You decide to forego the promise. Then the spice said, everything that we promised to you, anything that we swore to you will be void. Okay? So do your calculation correctly, knowing exactly what you are getting, and hold on to that value will get you to eventually receive life at the doomsday. So that's about Rahab, about the story of Rahab. Now, as we continue, we are going into the next chapter. In chapter 3, crossing Jordan River. We are, and I still got many classes to go. You know what, as I said the first day, that on the schedule it says that I have 12 sections, but I actually got 11. Yeah, because they scheduled it, there was something misplaced, so I think they gave Preacher Ho one more class. One of my class to under him, and I thank you very much. I guess nobody told him, huh? Yeah, nobody told him. I don't worry about it because he's leaving today. He's gone. He's done. He's done. So it's too late for him to realize that he actually did one more class and then try to like force me to do one for him. Yeah. So it's too late. He's going to Cerritos. Now we can openly talk about it. Yeah. Thank you all for your cooperation. Nobody told him, right? Nobody told him, right? Good. Good kids. Good kids. Yeah, I guess I'll just pass every one of you. Good kids. Yeah. So you know what? Let's go to chapter 3. We still have a. You know what? I will go way further than chapter 3 this time. How about that? Yeah. So you know what? In chapter 3, now this is the major turning point. I shouldn't say turning. This is the major moment when they were about to cross the Jordan River. Okay, they were about to cross the Jordan River. Now, after they crossed the Jordan River, is the beginning of the warfare of conquering the promised land. The Lord made the promise that you shall have. Go and get it. All right, go and get it. But now they are facing one of the biggest problems, the hindrance, which is the natural defense line, the barrier, which is the Jordan River. And it just happened, the Bible told us, you know what, let me read it to you. If you go to chapter 3 in verse 15. In verse 15, that 15, for the Jordan overflows all its bank, all the days of harvest, seasonal, flooding, strong current, terrible wave. Okay, Jordan is a river going from high to low and eventually going into the Dead Sea. So it was from the north on the higher mountain. So from the higher mountain, the water flows down, and because the differences on height, right? It goes from mountain to the bottom, right? So it goes faster and faster, stronger and stronger with its current. Right? So Jordan is a big river, and eventually the water rushing into the Dead Sea. And also it was seasonal. In here says that during this time it was extra abundance in water. The north, the snow melted, The snow on the top of the mountain melted, so it increased the volume rushing down through the bank, through the water, through the river, so that it overflowed the bank. It overflowed the bank. What does that tell you? It tells you that it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And the thing is, the Lord picked the worst season for them to cross Jordan River. Okay? It's not the dry season. It's not the dry season. They are different seasons so that the water or the river at different height. Okay? The Lord asked them to now get up, go, enter at the worst time, at the worst timing, at the worst. From the human perspective, that's a terrible timing for now it overflows. Now it's dangerous. Now there are a lot of water. Why now? Quite often, we always ask God, why? Why now? Like, you know what? We can wait. What's the hurry? You wait until the condition is more soothing, more comfortable. Lord, not now. Lord, later. No, eventually I will do this. You know what? A lot of times we are negotiating and bargaining with God because we don't like to deal with tough environment. Okay? Always like to bargain. Always like to bargain. Okay? So in here, the Lord picked the worst time of the season and tell them to get up and go through and cross Jordan River. Why? Because it doesn't matter. It makes no differences. It makes no differences of what season. Reality only works for you and I. It doesn't matter to God. Reality only kicks in when you are the one that dealing with the situation on your own. Then reality matters. Reality matters. Reality only matters when you are the one that handles the situation. Reality doesn't matter when God is the one that taking care of the business. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the differences. For those of you who trust in the Almighty God, who created the universe, who has the absolute authority over everything, if you believe and trust that all is in God's hand, then the so-called reality means very little to you. It means very little to you. Whether it was the dry season, the water is low and crossing is easy, or the high season that the water overflow and present as a great threat, it makes no differences to God, none to those who fully trust in God. Remember what Caleb said. When Caleb was 85 years old, right? When he was about to besiege Hebrew, when he was about when he was about to besiege a city guarded by the giant, the toughest city guarded by the giant, and he said to Joshua, I am taking it, for that's the promise of God. And he said that how I was 40 years ago, I am the same today. He was 85 years old. Physically speaking, a person who is 45 versus, who is 45 versus 85, would they physically be the same? Let me tell you, you are like what? 18, 19, 20? In your 20s versus when you are 30s, it will be very different. Okay? I am entering my 50s. I'm entering my 50s. Yeah, very soon I'm turning 50. And let me tell you, 30, 40, 50, every 10 years make a huge difference. Huge. At 20, you know that when I was in your age, I can be on the basketball court running for 2-3 hours. Not a problem, everyday thing. Now I have problem catching up with my husky. I'll be like, you slow down, okay? Trying to kill me or something? Yeah. You know that nowadays, I have to tell my dog to slow down. Otherwise, the dog might need to carry me home. Yeah. Why? Aging. So aging for sure taking a toll on you physically. You wait until you turn 30. All right. So you know what? At this age, you might feel that, oh yeah, I eat anything. See, I never gain weight. High metabolism. High metabolism. You wait. You wait when you turn 30, 40, 50. It's not about you. It's how the nature, they just keep it coming. What goes in stays in. All right? Let me tell you. So, you know what? Don't make fun of the older people because soon or later, you will be like that, even worse. That's just how it is. You know what? Nowadays, where I live, the apartment has a first and second and third floor. Let me tell you, I do 4 limbs. Like when I go up, arm and leg, they work together. Yeah, I imitate my husky. Why? It hurts. It hurts. The knee, the kneecap, everything. Now I understand. You know, in the past, I don't understand why some senior people, when they get to certain age, they only look for the 1-floor house. I'll be like, you know what, only a few steps. What's the big deal? Now I know. Get to my age, now I know. Yeah. You know that when I first moved in, I didn't think too much. I figured that I was still young and strong, like in my 20s. So the thing is, I go, when I need to leave the house, I come to the first floor and I realize that I forgot my car key. I have to climb up to the 3rd floor, get my car key, come back down, start the car and forgot my wallet. I have to go back to the 3rd floor and get my wallet and come back down. And then about to drive out and I realized I forgot to pick up my kids. Yeah. So all those kind of things. You keep on going first floor, 3rd floor, 1st floor. You know that in 1 year, I was having a severe infection. Tendon infection. I was unable to walk for about more than 14 months, more than a year and 2 months. I just try not to show. Like when I go up to the pulpit, I was actually using only one leg, pulling because it hurts. I cannot kneel because it hurts so much. And once I kneel down, I cannot get back up because it hurts so much. For more than 1 year. That's called aging. Yeah. But you know what, Caleb, why did he say that I was the same 40 years ago as today? Yeah, 40 years ago, how strong I was 40 years ago. I am the same today. He was not talking about physical condition. Physical condition, there's a change. But because in the whole warfare, he knew that when he was battling the enemy, in 100% of the effort, he only took like a very, very slim part. Something. So when in the whole picture, everything else is the power of God. So this, because the number were so small, that's what he meant that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I am getting older. It doesn't matter if I am having a cardio issue. If that I can, for Caleb, he can go up to the battle with a cane, and he will still win. He believed that. Because in his calculation, he was not battling through the strength of his arm. It was always about God. It's only about God. So since his physical condition doesn't matter, as long as his faith stayed the same, then that's how he was the same as when he was 40 years old. I trust in God when I was 40. I trust in God when I was 85. Then all the formula, all the condition, all the result, you will be the same. That God shall be victorious. Same thing. It doesn't matter if the water overflowed the bank. It doesn't matter if it was dry season. For the one who trusts only in the Lord, so-called reality makes no differences. It makes no differences. If God is on your side, who can go against you? Remember that. Because in your life, you will have a lot of opportunity to make decision, crucial, major decision about your life. And at that decision, some people, they will look at the practical reality and they will say, oh, I know I shouldn't, but I cannot help. Some people live by what they see, the reality. Some people, they are able to see the reality, but they trust in the Lord above the reality. Above the reality. So what type of member or what kind of people that you are makes the differences. Okay? There are many testimonies. There are many experience experienced by our members that when you are able to go beyond what you see, then you will see God. He showed you the photo, right? Preacher Timothy this morning showed you the photo. One of the photo is from Kenya. And the two photos that he showed two brothers. One is called Boniface. I know them. I also know them. One is called Boniface. The other one is called George Maruka. You know that I was there. They took me around. Now they are the one. They had been ordained as a deacon in the recent year. When I was there, they were just a church member, volunteers. But every time when we send workers to Kenya, these two volunteers, they will put aside their personal work. Okay, at that time, Boniface, he was a farmer. Okay, he was a farmer for some crops, vegetables. George Maruka, he was also a farmer, but he planted sugar canes, which doesn't require that much attention. Like sugarcane, you do what you need to do, then you just leave it. So George Maruka has more time, but both of them. Oh no, the other way around. Sorry, the other way around. There was once I was there and I was just chatting with them, and George Maruka shared with me a story, a real that his personal, because I was worried about their livelihood. I was worried that, you know what, you always come out, you accompany us for 1 month. You travel with us for 1 month. How about your house? How about your work? How about your farm? Who is taking care of it? And George Maruka told me a testimony. He said there was once, that as a farmer, everything is by season. There's a season to sow the seed. There's a season to fertilize. There's a season for everything. And there was once that the visiting minister arrived 1 week before the sowing season. Now there's a problem. When you sow the seed too early, you miss the raining season and everything goes wrong later on. Like you will have less harvest. The grain will grow smaller. Like that there's a consequence. There's a chain reaction. So he told me he was very struggle. What to do? Should I tell AMTC and tell the minister to come 1 week late? Should I do this? Should I do that? What will happen if that? Because for them, there's a season for everything. So he talked to his wife. And his wife is like, why don't you pray and trust in God? And we will bear the result. Whatever it is God allows, So be it. So be it. The wife is very faithful. The wife told him that the missionary work is more important than your field. Why don't you pray and trust in God? So they did. Actually, he told me that they decided whatever, they're just going to sow the seed. So they sowed the seed way early and be made fun of by the whole villagers. People thought that they went crazy. They were like, hey, dude, this is not the season. What are you doing? So they sowed the seed early, so that he was able to leave the house and meet up with the meet up with the pastors and take us to different cities to visit the members. Whatever happened, so be it. That's, yeah. He was ready. He was ready to face a very, very poor harvest. He was ready for that. And he told me that year, the raining season began 1 week early. He was the only one with the big harvest in the whole village. I was very moved. He did not ask for it though. He did not ask for, oh, if I do holy work, God, you need to give me this and give me that. He did not. He was ready. He was ready to suffer. He was ready to pay the price. He was ready to deal with the reality. And he said, Lord, so be it. For you, anything. Yep. And God's mercy, that was the week. That was in that particular year that the raining season began 1 year ahead, one week ahead. So he was able to, without worry, God took care of it. Everything. So some people only see the reality and they tell themselves, Lord, it's not that I don't want to, but I cannot. One day I will be ready. That day most likely will never come because you will never be ready. If readiness is only an excuse, you will never ever be ready. You will never ever be ready because there will always be something else that there will always be something else in reality that hits that you say, Lord, maybe not now. Give me a little bit more time. You know what? You can go on and on and on until you say, oh, if I wish I could start over, I would do it differently. Let me tell you, there's no such a thing. It's not video games. You don't get start over. I heard that nowadays, online games, you don't get start over either. Right? If you fail, you fail. If you die, you die. You have to, that there's no save and low. Like, then why would you want to play such a painful game? Like, you die. I worked that character for so many days. You know what? The only way that I will play game is when I get to save and reload. Right? I am not playing games to torture myself. Why would you do that? I don't understand. I need to win, In my turn. Right? Sheesh. I don't know. I guess you guys enjoy to be living with remorse. I shouldn't take that step. Did you see my character? Got smashed by the rock. I don't know. I don't do that well. If my character gets smashed by the rock, I'll be like, oh, reload. All right, but anyway, I don't understand your generation, okay? So you know what? The river was overflowed, but it makes no differences. Whatever God present in front of them, if it's low season, they cannot cross it on their own. If it's a high season, they cannot cross it on their own. The result is the same. Did you see that reality doesn't matter? Reality doesn't matter. In their scenario, reality means nothing. The only thing that matters is if God will open a way for you, and God did. Okay, so before they enter, I assume you read chapter 3 already. Joshua went around according to the command of the Lord and said that, get ready. In 3 days, you need to leave your tent. Okay, sorry. Joshua said, purify yourself, for you shall see God. Right? You shall see the work of God. You need to purify yourself. You need to leave the tent, your comfort zone. All right, that's your house. That's your house. In order for you to cross the Jordan River, number one, you need to sanctify, prepare yourself so that you can be used by the Lord, so that you are worthy to see the work of God. All right, you want to see the work of God? You want to see how God do majestic thing in your life? You want to see the power of God? Purify yourself first. Purify yourself so that you get to see how God fight for you, make wonders for you. It all begin by purification, followed by courage to leave your comfort zone. Like what preacher Timothy said this morning. When he saw an opportunity, he gave the father a business car, a pastor's car. He took the opportunity. I was sitting there. I was wondering to myself, for sure, I have no problem reaching out and help the father and son. However, I don't know if I would take that opportunity to evangelize. I actually not sure. I will be very, for me, as much as I know myself, I will have no problem in just offer to help out. But would I seize that opportunity, go extra step and say, you need Jesus, may God help you. And then followed by all the conversation. I am too courteous. Like, I have this very a line. I feel, oh, am I giving them pressure? Am I that just because I help you now, you need to come to my church? Am I giving you pressures? I'm not I need to work on that. Seriously. A few years ago, when I was still working, one day after work, someone as I was driving home from work, that someone rear-ended me. All right, someone rear-ended me. I got off the car. It was an old Korean couple, elderly Korean couples, and they were shivering. Yeah, because at that time, before I become a pastor, I drive a very nice car. All right, so they rear-ended my car. I got off the car, I checked on the car, and I saw that the two, they don't really speak English. They were like nervous. So I told them, don't worry, we'll let the insurance handle it. So we exchanged information. I let them go, took some picture and let them go. I drove home, I checked out the car, and I did not see any obvious issue with my car. I contacted the insurance. They want me to bring the car in so that they can lift up the car and inspect, check on the structure. And just that lifting up $2,000, $2,000, just checking $2,000. So I decide, it will be paid by their insurance. But I check around. I was like, you know what? I drove. I don't feel much. I check. I don't feel much. $2,000 on their insurance and their premium goes up. Is it really necessary? So I decide. I wrote them, because I have their address and everything, so I wrote them a letter. Say, oh, you know what? This is what happened. And I feel the car is fine, so please don't worry. I'm not reporting to the insurance. By the way, here is the flyer. Perhaps you should show up for our evangelical service. Because they are living in a different city. So I don't know if they ever. But you know that's probably like one thing that I was like, you hit my car. I let you go free. Maybe you should come to evangelical service. That's what I did. That's why. But you know what? I admire their courage. They were like, you know what? When God opened the door, maybe we should try harder. Maybe you should. For sure, I should. For sure, I should. All right? So you know what? You need to leave the comfort zone before you are able to see the miracle. You need to purify yourself before you can see the abundance of God. Let's hold your down and pray.